Hammerhal Aksha is not only Sigmar's capital in Akshi, but also his mightiest city outside of Azir. Its proud and passionate citizens endlessly labour to launch new Dawnbringer crusades across the Fire Plains. And in this video we'll be showing you how to paint your Free Guild steel helms in the regal colours of Hammerhal Aksha to battle ready. The paints we'll be using are on the screen right now. We'll be painting this Sergeant at Arms model with speed and efficiency, so you can paint up your whole unit in no time at all. And you'll also be able to use this guide for all your Free Guild troops. If you're new to painting or want to brush up on your skills, you can check out the Citadel Colour Painting Essentials videos to learn all about paints and painting techniques. Before we start painting, we need to undercoat our model, and for this colour scheme we have used Chaos Black, as it gives us a nice dark solid colour to work on for our darker colours. We'll start by applying lead belcher to all the plate armour, weapons, shield grip, buckles and any chainmail found on the model. With just a few thin layers built up, we get a solid metal colour worthy of Sigmar himself. We'll try and be neat if we can though, as painting the rest of our model will look cleaner and smoother, especially when it comes to our lighter colours later on. You may notice some of the metal studs on the boot gaiters and shield front. These are best painted once all our base coats are applied and tidied up, so we can do that step later on. Once you've finished painting with your lead belcher, we'll change our paint water, so we don't transfer any metallic flakes into the rest of our colours. Next we'll paint the shield and main cloth with Mephiston Red. On this model, the helmet crest also has a few small markings, which we'll also paint with this colour. We want to make sure that when we're applying this colour, we avoid getting it on any of the metallic details we just painted, as there are some cloth details very close to the chest plate and chainmail. But don't worry if you do get any of this colour on the metal. Just wait for your couple of coats to dry and tidy up with lead belcher afterwards. Hammerhal Aksha has a fiery tone to its heraldry, so Mephiston Red really gives our cloth and shield the tone and punch of flame it deserves. Now with our red down, we can look at the other cloth details found on these models, and for those we'll be using Jakero Orange. Just like with our red colour, we want to be careful painting in the metal and red we've already put down. So using a small layer brush for this colour works really well to get into all of those areas with more precision. There isn't much of this cloth detail to paint, so it should be relatively quick to paint with this colour and move to our next. With our orange dry, we can paint the undergarments, boots and chest icons with Corvus Black. We also want to paint the trim found around on the top parts of the shield. These details are small but also important, so we only need 1 to 2 coats over that black undercoat to get full coverage. Just be mindful of the metallic details near the arms and legs of this model. Next we'll use Morghast Bone for the centre field on the shield and the weapon handles. You can also use this colour for the other details on the helmet crest and any parchment on your models. With a lot of these details they are small and surrounded by a lot of other colours, so take your time and apply smaller, thinner coats to build up that colour. You can always tidy up after if you make any mistakes or smudges. Alternatively, if you'd rather prefer a darker weapon haft or handles, you can use our next colour instead. Our next colour is Mournfang Brown, and we'll be applying this to any leather details on our model, or as alternative weapon haft colours if this is your preference. But if you aren't sure what details should be in this colour, you can always refer to the box art. It is mostly boot gaiters, gloves, shield straps, belts and pouches. With some of these smaller straps, just take your time near that chainmail and metal armour. Now we can add Runelord brass to any relics or icons found on our model. This might be a bone or skull found on a weapon, helmet or chest plate. We'll also use this colour to paint the helmet crest trim and banding around the helmet. Just like with the rest of our colours, we want a few thin coats to cover smoothly and be as neat as we can be. Now is also a good time to paint those studs on the shield and leathers. You can either use lead belcher or Runelord brass, or a mix, depending on your choice. Now you can change your paint water again as it's full of shiny metallic flakes. For our last base coat, we'll be painting the darker skin with Catachan flesh. As this is a small detail of just the face, we'll use a small layer brush and a few thin coats to get the colour smooth and solid. As there are many skin tones found in the cities of Sigmar, you can pick whatever tones you want for your troops. Some great colours for these are Bugman's Glow, Rakarth Flesh, Cadian Flesh Tone and Kislev Flesh. The choice is yours. With all our base coats down, we can start shading over the colours. To start, we'll use Null Oil over the Lead Belcher, Mephiston Red and Corvus Black details. As we want to cover these details and no others, we'll use a medium layer brush, as it will hold enough shade but is small enough that we don't accidentally apply it to the other details. But if you do get the shade on anything else or it's pooling too heavily, you can clean off your brush, dry it, and soak away any unwanted shade before it dries. Next, we'll use Agrax Earthshade in two ways. For the Mournfang Brown, Catachan Flesh and Rune Lord Brass details, we'll use it straight out the pot neat, just being careful like we were with our Null Oil application. Then we'll thin down 1 part Agrax Earthshade and 1 part Lamium Medium, and apply it to the Jakera Orange and Morghast Bone details, being lighter in colour but still shading those details nicely. And to finish off our model, we'll be using Morghast Bone again to paint the trim of the cloth. This trim is very thin and small, so take your time and use a small amount of paint at a time. We're doing this last as we want to keep the trim nice and clean, away from all our shading steps. And there we are, our Hammerhal Aksha Sergeant-at-Arms is now battle ready, commanding the troops to the sounds of horns for the glory of Sigmar. You can see that we have applied a transfer to the shield and finished the base with Astrogranite. And if you want to know more about transfers and how to base your models, you can check out our videos all about those techniques. For more tutorials, tips and tricks, check out citadelcolour.com or head to your local Warhammer store where our amazing staff will be happy to help. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you next time. Bye bye!